Hi! Welcome to D&D. Welcome to another exciting episode of Telia Misfits. I completely forgot my usual intro. I don't know why. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here joined by my beautiful friends. Let's just go with that. I'm very confused today. By my beautiful friends. Let's go with Savian. Hi. How you doing? Do you have news?
I'm cancer free.
There we go. There we go. Everyone, big ups to Savian. Everyone, give a woohoo and waha and yay for Savian, who is now cancer free, and we are all here, super happy about that. We love you, bro.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's why I've not been here a bunch recently.
Yeah. But that is just amazing news. Next to Savian, we have let's go with the fantastic Dusk, aka Sarcastrophe. Hello.
Woohoo!
There we go. There's your woohoos. And then we have let's go with Raining Blades. How are you, awesome friend?
Massive Senpai thinks I'm beautiful. Teehee.
I don't. What? Oh, and then we have Oceanex, the great. Hi, Oshio.
So I'm only great, am I? Is that all I am to you?
Fucking hell.
Hello.
And last but not least, we have Flame Strike that is apparently hitting everyone. Very well deserved. Very well. I can actually imagine. I can actually imagine Callahan discovering that he has access to 5th level spells now, and he just testing it out inside the inn, and just a Flame Strike hits that.
Whoa, that's crazy! Oh my god!
Uh-huh.
Geez, that's big damage.
And finally, sitting in spirit, and also in the call, with us, despite the untimely demise of Edward, we have Sparrow Proxy. Hello. Spyro? Hi.
Yeah, yeah. Hi guys.
I thought he was doing a dead people can't talk bit.
Yeah, me too.
He was doing a forgot to unmute bit.
Probably. Possibly. Alright, so we have the wonderful Demir, who is going to do the recap of the last episode. Demir, take it away before I get even more confused with your weird shenanigans. Go.
Yes, quite. Oh, so when we last left off, it's strange. Callahan and I had died when we were taking on the cult that Edward knew of Taliesin. And after our souls sort of staying in limbo a bit, wandering around aimlessly, unable to properly move on, we were approached by this child that essentially told us that Himris had asked it to bring us back. And when we came to, we were alive once more, although had to apply a generous amount of healing to keep us from dying once more. And shortly after that, we suddenly saw coming out from the lake our companions, Edward, Himris, and Kyoho, and they were very glad to see us. And our reunion was cut short a bit by an angel of some sort bursting out from the lake and screaming about corruption and how the host needed to stomp it out. And to be completely honest, I wasn't exactly sure what was going on, but we were advised to flee immediately. And as we were running, some of the other angels that I guess were subservient to this larger, very scary-looking one were out searching for us. And one of them found us, and despite our best efforts, we were not able to completely shake it and had to strike it down. And at some point, it mentioned that not only was Emrys corrupt, but also myself and Callahan, which was very strange to hear because we still not really fully been explained by our party what was going on. But after we dispatched of this angel, the larger one started searching for us. It seemed to be in disarray, expecting reinforcements that weren't there. And I was able to throw up my invisible dome for us to take some respite in as we kind of hid things out and discussing what our next move would be. We have had absolutely no idea what might happen next, and based on what had happened before the loop that we'd been stuck on for this island was broken, it could very well be that we were about to die within less than an hour with no chance of escape. We came to an uneasy conclusion that it was perhaps best to, at the very least, ensure that the facility and the portal we were sent here to destroy was destroyed one way or another. And Edward volunteered to go speak to the angel and tell him of the location. And off he went while we were basically waiting for him to come back to us safe and sound. But then suddenly we saw in the distance a great big flash and a thunderous boom. And as Callahan and I immediately sprung forward and began to try to rush over towards Edwards, fearing the worst, I saw the child once more, and the four of us were suddenly seemingly teleported back to the wounded soldier back in Westreach on the mainland. And when realizing that we had all somehow ended up here due to this child again, and that Edward was not with us, it was very intense. And my patience at an end, started demanding answers from Emrys as to what the child was and what Emrys had done. And when I realized that this child was this source of corruption we had been kept hearing about, that the angels were out to stop against, and that Emrys had been using this source of corruption in order to save Callahan and myself, but indirectly, ultimately, possibly costing us the life of Edward, I just couldn't stand to be there anymore, and I ran off in a fury. And that's about it.
Indubitably, that is about it. So, with Demir and, also Kyoho, who also happened to go out after Demir to get some fresh air, apparently, because she also didn't seem to take the news, the information very well. Callahan and Emrys, you go to the very confused and surprised owner of the inn, who came down to check on what the noise was, because remember, it's pretty late. It was already after closing time. So you guys yourself your room, since you are well-known patrons here. He was like, you should have come at decent hours, but your rooms are upstairs, and he just gives you the keys. You go and get yourself some rest, because remember, all of you are quite tired. You've been through hell, and very hurt. Some of you died and then came back. That takes a toll. And as for Demir and Kyoho, are you sleeping? Are you just wandering around the whole night? What are you planning on doing?
We've only. It's been so long. Are there other inns, like, even in the area, or is this like really like the main one?
No, there's other inns. The Wounded Soldiers is just, you know, the one you know best, and with in this area, like the best quality for price. If you want to spend a lot of money, you can go inside the city limits. Um, Otherwise, there's a couple of other inns that are a bit less savory, but they work.
Demir will probably just find another one that still looks. Obviously, it's not going to be as nice, but still, it's not like super sketchy.
Okay.
And stay the night there.
All right. He charges you extra for waking him up at night, so late in the evening, and you have to pay an additional. You pay 7 gold, 7 silver for the night.
Okay.
No breakfast. No breakfast.
No, that's fine.
Kyoho, what are you doing for the night?
She's probably just gonna step to the outskirts of town and just sort of sit down and think for a little bit.
All right. She's basically quote unquote camping out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got the stuff for it.
Yeah, of course. You're the nature one. That's true. That's
Yep.
true. All right. So you do that. Amaris and Callahan, you do pay 4 silver for your stay. He is giving you a 1 silver discount because he knows you guys now. And you look like shit. That's so both of you pay 4 silver.
I also mend spell pretty much half the shit in here.
Yes. Every time you come in, he just goes, "Oh, Callahan, there's a broken bench over there. Would you mind?" And it's always it's beginning to be a running theme. But yes, you sleep. In the morning, you have 2 of you have breakfast. One of you probably has a rice ball, and the other one is just told to fuck off if he wants to, unless he wants to pay for an extra meal.
No, Demir will just fuck off.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so what do you wish to do? Because you are currently separated. You had a night to think about stuff. Amaris and Callahan, you're currently having your breakfast downstairs. It is later in the morning. All of you were dead tired, and it was super late. So it is actually getting closer to midday, but you still get your breakfast on. Late breakfast. Yeah.
There'd be a few things that I'd like to just try and do. I might do it during breakfast, but kind of keep it more to myself. Could I ritual cast augury?
Ooh, of course.
I have the material. Actually, oh shit, do I have?
Spark sticks,
I have,
bones.
Yeah.
Did you buy the materials?
Ages ago, I've used a spell
Oh,
once.
right.
Always have it prepared.
Right, I remember you using it. Okay. What are you using? Are you using bones, sticks, tokens? What do you what did you have prepared?
I was thinking of like very like bone type ornaments.
Okay.
More so leaning towards the grave domain rather than Maul. If that makes sense. But maybe if there's like small little like coins or tokens that also denote like Maul's presence or whatever.
Okay.
But for the most part, it is kind of like just you go to a random like gemstone store or like antique store, and you're like, ooh, these are interesting stuff.
Yeah. All right. So as you're waiting for breakfast, then it's still being prepared, and you're like, you begin to ritual cast this. What's the question? What is the plan? The course of action that you're planning for?
Could I ask if I were to use greater restoration, would that remove the corruption? Like, is greater restoration like strong enough to be able to do that?
Oh, okay. So
Very
you're
targeted, very like targeted to this specific type of
your
corruption.
your course of action is casting greater restoration to break the corruption. Okay.
Because I know I don't know if the corruption that Demir and Callahan have is different than the one that Emrys has. So if it helps being more specific, then the one that Demir and Callahan has.
Okay. Then you start planning it out, and you start processing it, and as you're planning, you throw the trinkets, and they don't spell anything out. They don't actually spell any words, but you look at it, and the spell lets you feel wheel. So good results in this case.
You know what? I have it in front of me, and I knew wheel meant good results, but I immediately thought of a wheel, like a circular one. I was like, huh.
Yeah. It might have also been my accent.
Or maybe I'm thinking of cheese wheels. Okay. In that case, the second thing I want to do is, would I be able to make like an insight check to see if I would like just presume that Demir is looking to bounce?
Oh, you don't know. You just said you wanted you know he was troubled. What
Like I caught him
it's
before he
less.
left Babs's cave. Like I know that's
Listen. Here's the thing. This is less of an insight check and more. What do you think the mirror would do? What Callahan, who knows the mirror, what he thinks in this situation.
Oh, and in that case, I definitely think Callahan would know that Demir is trying to leave. But I didn't know if that would count as metagaming, so I thought it'd be nice to ask. In that case, I might just shoot him a quick sending just to ask to meet up before he leaves. And just say it's relating to the corruption.
All right.
And then give him like a random street that me and Demir probably walk down beforehand. And I won't pursue it unless he replies back. Or
the first thing you think about is the street next to Frankie's brothel.
that was the
brothel
first street
Frankie
that
lives.
came to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. So you do think about that, and Demir, you get the message from Callahan.
Okay, so one of the so this is actually kind of funny. One of the first thing I was gonna do upon waking up is cast remove curse on myself.
Okay.
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 And see if I felt anything different.
When you cast remove curse, the spell washes over you. I mean, you don't feel any different, so you don't know if it did anything, good or bad.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so then I get the message, and Demir is going to respond back very confused. I don't understand. Shouldn't we go back and talk to Natasha first at her place and relay our findings?
Callahan, you hear that?
Waiting up for the message. It's not to shoot out another message. Yeah, I'll shoot out another sending.
This spamming sendings, but I love it. Go on.
Because now I don't know if means that we should just meet up at Natasha's instead.
Well, what do you send? What do you send in the message?
Yeah, I'll resend. I'll send off another sending spell and just be like, if it's all right with you, I'd like to just do this. It's all right with you. Fuck. I'll grab a glass of water in 2 seconds. If it's all right with you, I'd rather do this first. Because it's something that I think only I can do.
So Jameer's just going to respond.
Burning through slots, man. This is an
Alright.
expensive morning.
They're just going to respond saying, "All right, see you in 10."
Hey, Emrys, I need to run off real quick. Will you be all right on your own for
Yes.
10, 20 minutes?
Yes.
All right, because I'm kind of spent, so don't go running off because I'm running low on spell slots already.
Yes.
Start to kind of take off, I suppose.
Okay.
Emrys is just kind of poking at their food, not eating much.
Okay. Amaris, as he's leaving, you watch him out of the corner of your eye leaving, you start to think back upon the night you had before. How you were in bed and having flashbacks of everything that happened in the last island. The deaths of your friends. The angels. Child, your friends returning because of your wish. Running from the angels again. Edward leaving the pillar of light. And as the pillar of light hits in your dreams, it's weird, your dreams stopped. And it's almost like everything around you froze completely. And you're looking around. It's odd. Like the dreams aren't supposed to. You were having these rapid fire dreams that were hitting you. But now everything went quiet. And you just see a shadow behind you. Your shadow. Caused by the pillar of light. And it begins to rise from the ground, taking your shape. A dark form with red eyes, glowing. It stops and it speaks using your voice, but the cadence is different. The way it's speaking is completely different. As you hear, "Isn't it frustrating to be so weak, Amaris?"
Horse.
Right? Your friends died. 2 of them. Close friends, right? How many times have the others almost died? You
We
start.
brought Kyoho back. But
Yes.
when we fought that dragon, that could have been the end of all of us. When we fought that abomination that absorbed the angel, nearly was the end of all of us. So many times.
It wouldn't have happened if you were stronger. Isn't that right?
Horse. And I'm
The shadow steps forward, smiling while you are not. Then do you want to be just a little bit stronger, Amaris?
no. I want to be a lot stronger.
That's the spirit. And you see the shadow extend its hand. Let's grow stronger together.
so that my friends won't die again. And Emrys reaches out to take its hand.
The shadow smiles. And the dream ends. And you wake up, not in a cold sweat. It's a peaceful feeling. It's a warm feeling. But at the same time, it's a foreign feeling that's been stuck in your mind ever since. But then we switch back to Kyoho. Kyoho, morning. You wake up. You have a rice ball. What are
Yep.
you doing?
Just I'll get ready and get back into town and meet up with everybody.
Okay. So are you heading to the Wounded Soldier?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say the others meet up before you get to the Wounded Soldier. So, Callahan, Demir, you see, Dahlia's house of lady favors in the distance. And Demir, you'd be closer. So Callahan, you see Demir standing in front of the butcher. And as you both get there, you look and you see next to the butcher is the house. It's weird. Wasn't that long ago. It was only a couple of months ago, but this is the same house that housed Arthur's apprentice that all of you came to investigate. The one that had the sigil on the door that Callahan, something stopped you. The house that led to some answers and some questions. Demir, you're watching this house as you've been waiting for Callahan. It's still everything's boarded up now. It did survive Windscar's attack, but everything's boarded up now. Nobody's using it. And then you hear Callahan approach behind you.
Hi, Callahan.
Hey, Demir. Did you have good rest?
No, but I managed. You?
Yeah, about the same for me, to be honest. It was definitely a different experience.
I'll be honest, part of me was expecting to fall back asleep and
Not wake up.
that this was just a dream and that we were still dead. Honestly, I'm not. He just trails off.
Coming back, it does a number on you, and like kind of reach out, and I have a nice little velvet bag, which I purchased a little bit earlier before getting here. And I gesture for Demir to hold out his hand.
Demir.
You broke off there, RB.
Sorry, I was just saying that he does that. He extends his hand as Callahan's asking him to.
I kind of pour out what be 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust before tracing around his palm and then closing his fist over it as I cast the Greater Restoration spell on Demir.
All right. As you cast the Greater Restoration spell, not much happens. Like the dust vanishes. The mirror, you open your hands and it vanishes. But while there's no fanfare, it's almost like there's a weight lifted off your shoulders. You do feel a little bit lighter.
I feel better. Thank you. Have you always been able to do that?
No, would be the honest answer. It's definitely not anything I'm going to be able to do for the rest of the day anyway. But look, we know that I don't know anything about what I can or can't do. I know
Demir's just laughing a bit without a chuckle.
I'm not even going to
You're an
pretend.
idiot.
Clown. I'm not even going to pretend to really understand exactly what that whatever that eyeballed angel monstrosity was, or what it meant by corruption. But from what I could tell, and I've got it on some very reliable source, that shouldn't be accused of anything like that ever again.
Would be nice, yes. It's funny, I woke up with the same intention of trying to remove it, and at least my effort didn't seem to work evidently, but like I said, who knows, but I do feel like a weight has been lifted, so thank you.
I didn't tell anyone that was meeting you here. I was thinking of heading back to the Wounded Soldier. More than welcome to come with. But obviously, if you want, we can meet you at Natasha's if you'd like. I'd like to try and make an insight check to see if Demir is, at the mention of going to Natasha's, does it kind of look like he is intending to go to Natasha's to report back on what happened on the island with like Fabus and all that, or?
No, don't need an inside check. Demir, you look like you're intending to go, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You get the feeling that, yeah, he's going.
Do you want to meet you there, or do you want to meet up with the others?
I think I'll go on ahead.
See you there, okay?
See you.
And you ever need to talk about what happened, I think I might be a better person than most to kind of. He kind of trails off and he kind of shakes his head. He's like rubbing the back of his head, trying to think of words.
Appreciate it, Callahan. Thank you.
So then, and Callahan will just start wandering, or just kind of like do a little bow or whatever and start walking off.
Okay.
Demir starts heading toward Natasha's.
Okay. You do remember that Natasha lives about a day's walk from. Well, basically, on foot you'll get there by the end of the day, if you leave in the morning. Just remember, you all have your horses still stabled. Where was it? Was it in Westreach or was it in Feywave? It was in Westreach. Yes, it was at Natasha's place. in
Yeah,
West
'cause
in Westreach. That's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
so we can't take our horses to get there faster because that's where our horses are.
No, 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 no. Because Natasha still has a house in Westreach. She's just not in Westreach, and you left it. You left the horses at Natasha's old place in Westreach, where one of her butlers was. So you can actually go get your horses. Finally, it's been a while.
finally, that kitted out horse that I got,
Yes.
I just was immediately unable to use.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say, since like I completely forgot that Natasha's was like a day away, Demir probably wouldn't have. And in that case, Demir would have said that he would have accompanied Callahan back to the wounded soldier.
Okay. Okay. So you and Callahan go to the wounded soldier. As you get, well, before you get to the wounded soldier, while Emerus, you've been poking at your breakfast, eating a little bit, but not that much. You do see Kyoho enter. Kyoho, you see Emerus.
Just Emerus?
Emerus is completely alone.
And I'm just going to stand off to the side and wait for the rest of the group to show up.
Emery just kind of looks up at Kyoho, but with Kyoho not saying anything, Emery just kind of nods slightly and then returns to picking up food.
All right. Mary, one of the, well, John's wife, the owner of the inn. What's wrong, Emrys? Is the food not good? Would you like me to get something else?
No, I just don't have an appetite.
Ah, you're a growing one. You need to eat. You need to eat. And she turns around and starts heading towards other customers. And as you sit there in silence with Kyoho, keeping her distance, and staying in silence, which honestly it's what she normally does. Callahan, Demir, you both arrive at the wounded soldier, and you actually see that Kyoho is there, luckily.
Hey, Kyo. How are you doing?
That is a good question, yes.
Fair enough. So, plan at the moment is go back to Natasha's place, chat to her, findings, Fabus. That alright? Anyone got anything else that they need to be doing beforehand?
That is what I assumed we'd be doing next.
I will take it that everyone else is not. Ran, is there? So we can't use the horses?
No, you can. You just need to get the horses from Natasha's old place.
Awesome.
I
I presume we just do that.
Okay.
On our way to the horses, is there any I don't know if this is the correct type of business, but like a stonemason?
There might be. What are you looking for?
I was thinking of doing totally out of the side thing, like commissioning a stone replica of the Sword of Pleasure to make a small little monument at a graveyard for Edward.
Oh, okay. Okay. You do find someone that would actually next to the graveyard in town. There is stone worker that does that kind of thing. Basically, that's his whole business. And I'm gonna say you give him the design that you want. Give him the general idea. Any wording on it?
Great question.
He said, it costs extra because I can barely read or write, but I can copy off things pretty good.
Can barely read or write myself.
That's my man.
I didn't really have any. Is there kind of like a? Is there kind of like a not Latin phrase, but a fantasy Latin phrase that'd be used in
Celestial.
like dark scripture?
I mean, celestial is basically the equivalent of Latin in this world. That are like
Yeah, like something like in honor.
Do you know celestial?
I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna write it down for him. He can pick up a. He's in a graveyard. There's surely there's gonna be some holy scripture text knocking about, and he can just.
Demir,
Indeed.
you do see Callahan struggling with deciding what to write for the headstone. You, as a learned individual, you would know. Even if you don't know the words themselves, you at least you know how to write them.
Yeah, I would share. What were you thinking of Callahan?
I'm thinking of some just to kind of more commemorate how Ed lived his life. Like he wasn't someone who just took things slowly. I don't know if it's too soon to say, but him going out in a massive pillar of light, the most Edward thing that could have possibly happened to him. Maybe something as simple as died laughing.
A glorious death for his friends.
Is Emrys here? Sorry.
Everyone's there.
I was going to do this on my own, but now Demir is here, and I feel as if.
How about this? How about this?
Like group anxiety, being like, "Oh shit, there's that Callahan guy again, fucking going to random shops."
No, how about this? This was done while if you wanted to go at it alone, this was done while you and Demir were on your way to the Wounded Soldier. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
Okay,
perfect.
so Emrys, you're not there. Just you and Demir. Just Callahan and Demir.
And Demir would have suggested a glorious death for his friends.
Boom bow. That's what we're gonna go with. Sorry for sidetracking the story for this.
Hey, he gives you a piece of paper, asks you to write it down, Demir, and I'll copy it the best I can. This will run you up for 10 gold. 10 gold pieces. If you pay, let's say 35, I'll put in a lot more detail, a lot more beautify it up a little bit, more respect for the dead. You know what I mean?
Demir will pay for it in full, the 35.
Because
he still technically owed Edward 50 and never got to pay him back.
Okay, he go deep pockets on you. Okay, let's get to work. This will take 2 days max.
If you could just send word over to the Wounded Soldier.
Gotcha. Who am I asking for? Family of Edward.
Just put it down for the Telia Misfits, if you wouldn't mind.
Misfits. Weird name. Sure. Good one. Oh,
Rude guy for working next to a fucking graveyard.
No, yeah, he actually turns around. If you want, there's you can get yourself a plot of land, graveyard, if you want to bury him there. Just have to talk to the priest. So,
There's no body, just a marker.
I don't need to be a body. I just need a place to put the stone at.
Then that would be nice.
Right? Might cost you, but good luck. And he goes back and he goes to work on the headstone.
You like a prick. Oh my god.
Hear from the distance. Hey Mary! We got more gold! We out drinking tonight!
So in that case, do we? Yeah, I suppose we're head off Natasha. That'll take the next few hours
Okay.
or less.
So-
than horsepower.
Well, first of all, you get to Natasha's, and as you get to Natasha's old place, you see the butler, this halfling fellow. Oh, you're back. You took less time than was told. Okay, your horses have been well. Your horse, and he turns to Emrys. Your horse is an asshole. Okay? He kicked the stable boy. Twice. It's not a laughing matter. He has brain problems now. It's very nice, very not nice. Okay, okay. I'm going to get your horse. You get your own fucking horse. I'm not getting near that horse. And he just points you towards the stable. You get there. All four of your horses are there. The three horses and the butch,
The beast.
the beast that is Emrys's horse. Whose name I forgot. I forgot the name of your horses, guys.
It's
Sorry.
Aurora.
Aurora, the gigantic beast of a horse. Yes, with the armor. Looks as infernal as anyway. So
I just wrote in the Twitch chat how it's the three horses and the horse.
mm-hmm. Yes, the horse. All right, so you get on the horses and you take off. With the horses, it does cut back on a little bit of time, so you do get to Natasha's by sundown. You do notice your horse is behind, 3 or 4 feet behind Emrys's horse at all times. Even if you speed up, Emrys's horse just speeds up a little bit more. Very competitive one, but either way, as you get to Natasha's home, you announce yourselves. You're told to wait for a little bit by some of the staff, but a few minutes pass and Natasha, you're ushered in to Natasha's study. And as you get there, you see her sitting there, watching you. And she has this big smile on her face at first. And as you walk in, the smile begins to fade as she looks between all of you and sees your grim expressions. And then she clearly notices that one of you isn't here. And she... I take it what you say did not come back complete again. I am sorry. She looks at the mirror and she speaks in halfling. Are you okay, child?
The mirror will respond in halfling. No, it's been very hard on us.
She nods. I don't think this is the moment for my pathetic attempts at common. Namir, do you mind translating for me?
Demir just nods his head.
Thank you. You are here much sooner than expected. What has happened?
Demir kind of looks over to Emrys and Kyoho, which are the ones that actually know what's happened.
It's a long story.
She just nods. Well?
Have you been in contact with Fabis?
From time to time, yes.
Has he told you what we've relayed to him thus far? Using the device he gave Callahan, we were able to provide him brief updates, but
No, he has not told me anything about that. Only said that there was trouble a few days ago. A couple of days ago, and I haven't contacted him since.
I see. Just establishing what you know.
Of course. Please. She turns around, and Demir, you understand her speaking in Halfling to one of the servants to tell them to bring some tea and some food. And the servants already ready. They bring out cups of tea for everyone, mini sandwiches, and some biscuits in front of all of you as you sit down in front of her.
Thank you. Emrys doesn't take any, but right. Well, we reached the island successfully, but there was an unusual situation. We found out after entering the mist that surrounded the island that it was trapped in time or something of the matter. At first we didn't notice, but we ran into a three-headed dragon and were all killed, and then woke up as though nothing had happened.
You see her
Right.
eyes widen when you say that. Demir, you don't need to translate for her. I only need to translate what she says in Halfling.
Right. Demir was just going to also specify that the mists was specifically that one Bermuda Triangle type region area, and that also the not everyone remembered when we woke up, when time reset itself. It was like only some of us could remember.
Favis did speak of the island having special properties, but he didn't go into detail. He's been busy with something.
Yes. Well, luckily, although that was unpleasant, we remained. Well, we were still alive, I suppose. So, but we after some exploration, we found the facility that we were looking for, the one containing the gateway, and also containing the individuals that Edward was adverse to meeting. And That man. He killed Demir and Callahan. But the inside of the facility was not repeating time as the outside was.
You see her look towards Callahan and the mirror, studying them as you're speaking.
With their bodies outside of what had happened, outside of the repeating time, we waited the day to end. The time would reset after a day or two, when a large group of angels would descend from the sky and destroy everything.
Angels?
Yes.
How is it that Callahan and the mirror are still here then? Don't get me wrong, she turns towards the mirror. I'm very glad to see you both. Very glad, Callahan. Very glad. But, yes.
After Helen and Demir, we tried to do what we could, but well, Callahan is the one who knows how to preserve those on the brink of death like that, and without him, there wasn't much we could do. But we couldn't destroy the portal because there was a barrier protecting it, and we would have to find another way. This is when we spoke with Fabis, and he confirmed that there would be a power source somewhere else on the island to destroy the barrier. So we had to go and find it. We ran into some other angels on the island.
You spoke to angels?
Yes. They seemed quite... They weren't high-ranking angels, to my knowledge.
So you're saying they have ranks?
I'm not very clear on how it works, but they were clearly subservient to a much stronger entity.
Was this stronger entity the one that brought them back? These good angels?
No.
What then?
The angels, with their help, we defeated that three-headed dragon that we had previously encountered, and found at the bottom of the lake it had emerged from. There was another facility, and so we investigated that as well.
These facilities, you see, she switches for a moment. I see she is thinking. These facilities, are they also goblin made?
Yes.
Well, the architecture was similar to the one you found in the west.
Out of character, I assume it was.
It had similarities, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Were there? You say it's stuck in time. Did you encounter any goblins as well?
Yes, in a way. there were none at the first facility, but this second one, the inside of it was also trapped in this time loop.
Were they hostile?
They were dead.
Oh.
They were freshly dead.
Oh.
It seemed, though trapped within a loop, that makes it impossible to tell
Interesting. I
what
see.
exactly the context of that was. There was one on the brink of death, but none of us are able to speak the goblin language, so I could only determine from its thoughts that it was scared, that it was on the brink of madness. Its mind had been broken. And there was something in the facility that had caused this. And that was this higher ranking angel. The angels that we had journeyed with, the two of them, they explained to us that this was a seraphim.
Was this then the creature that brought them back?
No.
No?
The seraphim was captured and being used as the power source. But it wasn't the only creature that had been captured. There was another. It was a child. Red-skinned child, not an Oni. It had a tail. And the angels, they, from what they told us, you know of the this corruption that the angels seek to destroy, yes?
Parbis has explained to me a part of it, yes. I understand.
This creature was supposedly the a source of that corruption. A being of it's supposedly, well, it grants wishes, and it cannot die.
Please tell me you didn't. She looks
There was no
towards Callahan in the mirror.
There was no other way.
There must have been a price. Such things
None.
do not come without prices.
There is no price. Well,
So being granted your
becomes-
wish for no...
it becomes stronger when it grants wishes, but it does not. It's not some destructive entity, or it's I'm sure you know I'm able to touch minds. It was pure. It had no evil or unwelcome thoughts. It simply wished to help. And well, whatever price, if there is any other than that, then it is my responsibility, and I'm prepared for that. But I do not believe I made a wrong decision. Demir and Callahan are here now because of me.
Edward isn't? What happened?
This seraphim that was captured, obviously the angels that we had come with, wanted to free it. And, well, they hunt the corruption, and since I had associated myself with the creature, it did not want me around. So we had to escape. And in the process, Edward was... It didn't want Edward. It just wanted me. But he suggested that he go, and we still had to destroy the gateway, and we knew that the angel would... It's a common goal. It wants to be rid of the goblins as well. So we thought we could suggest to it, we could point out that this gateway existed, and perhaps that would give us enough time. But I don't know what happened, but Edward told us to escape. I was connected to his mind. We were a distance away. He just told us that we had to escape, and then there was a beam of light, and
That happened how long ago?
it happened last night.
Emerus, did any of you wish to be brought back here? She's speaking halfling as she looks directly towards the mirror.
I did. I didn't think it was still alive. I said it couldn't die, but the angel said that a seraphim is able to kill one. When the seraphim escaped, we left the child, and I thought it was gone. I tried to contact it before to get us off the island, but nothing happened until after.
It's a shame. So the angels and this corrupted being are still out and about. Trapped on the island, perhaps?
With the angel was the barrier's power source. Without it, it's
Like the other
likely
one, then.
yes, like the other one. But without it, it's likely that, well, it's not trapped in any particular capacity.
Well, let us hope that it does not come to the mainland, then. Although Onigashima would be the closest, if it intends to do. Well, there is nothing we can do about it for now. The question... She leans forward. Did you happen to bring anything from the ruins?
Did we?
Out of character, the Kyoho, when the session 7 was gone, Kyoho collected all those medallions from the goblins, like a dozen or so, one of which was higher, like a better medallion than the others. And then I think the stuff we got off Taliesin Edward had on him.
Yep.
So yeah, that was because there was nothing else like in that first ruin. There was nothing. We didn't exactly have time to loot, so it's just those medallions from the goblins that Kyoho has, or put in the bag of holding, I guess. The backpack of holding.
Actually, on that, there wasn't. Oh, I was going to say for the goblin part, but for the talisman fight, there wasn't really anything there outside of the automaton. No, and even then we couldn't take anything back. Like the island prevented us from keeping.
Didn't we split some of its loot or some of the things?
Talisman stuff? No. Edward took it for identification purposes later on. And then he got incinerated by an angel. Which happens.
Like, we couldn't take anything with us, could we? After the day reset.
Here's the thing. You can't take anything with you after the day reset, but while you were in the first facility, you could have. But since Demir and Callahan died, the rest wasn't really focused on finding out things from the goblins to bring back.
But I could be.
There's also some searching around, but just to see what else was in the facility. But there really wasn't like, while you guys are distracted, there was nothing else that really stood out.
Didn't
per se.
someone take a bunch of the Hydra's teeth? I definitely.
I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Kyoho did harvest that, yeah, but that's not archaeology.
Yeah, she doesn't
ruins
really
type.
care about
Well,
that.
I mean, it's pretty rare paleontology. Because it's like an unknown species of beast.
Paleontology, yes.
Is that not the dinosaur one? Is that paleontology? Paleontology.
There we go. There you go. She says, I am more in the rocks business. If it was fossilized, I could possibly find someone, and I might still find someone who might be interested in buying such a thing. So I can take it from your hands if you don't wish to keep it. And if you have anything else, she looks at Kyoho, as I assume the medallions were mentioned.
Who's holding the bag of holding?
I think Emra says.
Emra says.
Yeah.
So Kyoho grabbed them, and then Kyoho collected them, and then put them in the backpack of holding.
I will get them out of the backpack of holding, then turn them over.
She takes them. Interesting.
I'm sorry, we could not bring it back anymore, but we came back much faster than perhaps should have.
I cannot blame you under the circumstances that you were under. It was understandable, but I will be keeping these, and I will reward you for bringing these back as well. And for your troubles, for your journeys. She signals for one of the butlers to come closer. And she whispers something to him, and then he leaves. Then she takes the coins and starts watching them. It is a pity, but at least if the angel seeks the corruption, might destroy the portal. At least without the power source, the goblins won't be able to use it. That is good enough. And I might be able to send a team to explore the location, at least of not such a combat-oriented team, but but one that might be able to extract things. I won't be sending you back to that place, don't worry. I will not ask for such a thing. But that brings me to another question. After what happened, do you still wish to work with me?
Alan definitely looks visibly caught off guard at that question and like, whoa, that's coming out of nowhere. That kind of vibes.
I ask this because I feel partially responsible for the loss of your friends, for sending you to such places. I do not wish for you to work with me unless you feel I am sending you to not to death traps. At least not intentional, I swear. Does the
Demir
contract
is
still
going to
hold?
respond. Demir is going to respond in Halfling, which is how he's been communicating with Natasha.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know that I'm gonna take some time to think about things and my path forward, and we'll have to get back to you.
She turns to you, Demir. Don't translate this. But do they know that you are planning this?
I've not mentioned it yet, no.
Be sure to mention it before things grow sour.
That's
She looks towards the rest of you, and she does speak in common. Will you still be working with me then?
Callum definitely is nodding. Again, super clear in his face. Like, he's just like, whoa, this did not expect like anyone not to be working for Natasha at this point.
She gives you a nod.
I believe that we are fortunate to have your support, and that the angels that we encountered that on that island, they were dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
I would
And
believe so.
I think that if we are not only in your own interests, but in the interests of most people, although that Seraphim is out of our hands at the moment, we cannot be sure what lies at the other location that we have yet to investigate. And
I do. No, actually. I sent my own team, another team. A group of people I've been working with. You all... As much as I adore you, are not the only skilled workers that I employ.
I hope that their expedition was more successful than ours.
Well, they did return. It was a shorter trip, and it was... Apparently, they found some trouble, especially getting closer to the border with those northern savages. She looks visibly not amused with the people of Glarion, but they were able to ascertain that The portal in that facility had been deactivated long ago. Partially damaged due to what they assumed to have been degradation of the ruins themselves. And from what I gather, now that we have the example of another facility, a lack of power source. They did encounter some troubles. One of them is currently wounded, but they are recovering. Kyoho, you did not answer me.
I was waiting for the others to finish their answers.
Of course.
I have thought long about it. Thinking about it not just before the events on that island, but also after we returned. And I could focus on doing more than just surviving. But I have decided to go off on.
You cut out a bit there.
I have decided to go off on my own.
Very well. He looks at the others to see if anyone looks surprised.
Callahan's face deathly drops. And immediately turns to Kyo. It's like, what? But doesn't say anything. Here's one of the like, whoa, oh my god.
Well, I believe you all have some things to discuss amongst each other. It is night. It is late. You will be staying the night in my mansion. You will be eating dinner with myself if you will have me. And I will give you time and a space to discuss your next steps for each of you. And in the morning, I will be giving you your reward. Until then, she turns to one of the maids. Show them to their rooms. And thank you to all of you.
Callan just pays respect and thanks, and then walks out.
Okay. So you're all escorted. Each of you gets a room of your own in the mansion. It's a small room, but it is a room. And you all have a lovely dinner with the mistress of the house, with Natasha. Several different types of meats and very well cooked things. Even you, Kyoho, feel that this cook, he knows what he's doing. It might even surpass your skills. But not with fish, though. Not with fish. Fishes only know how to handle fish. Yes, indeed. But it is after dinner, and she says, "Now, I will retire to my own chambers. You are welcome to use this room to discuss whatever you need to discuss amongst each other.
Thank you.
I feel like it might be rude of me to say this, but I do not have grandchildren, but I feel like a lot of you are close enough that I can say that I want all of you to be happy. And for that to be possible, there needs to be open communication between all of you. You've been together for a long time. close to being a family, in a way, as far as I can say. Think of that, and think of your next steps together. Don't leave with bad emotions and ill thoughts. Good night. And she gives you all a little. She's a halfling, so as you're all sitting down in this living room with several couches, she walks to each of you, pets you on your knees, and then she walks out, leaving you alone with some drinks and just yourselves.
I imagine it's just as silent and awkward. in
Yeah.
character.
I was thinking that, yes.
I feel Alan's probably like, when you go to a friend's house and you don't know anyone, you're just kind of like sitting there nodding, looking anywhere other than people's face and kind of like tapping your knees, your legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask out of character. Kalan and Demir haven't said anything about the Greater Restoration.
I don't
I
believe.
think so. And it's not something that like would be noticeable at all, is it really?
No.
All right.
I also have been doing some thinking,
Yeah.
and I've to give some proper information back. I haven't had the time, but I had hoped to do this one of the nights we stayed on the island, but he obviously didn't have time. It wasn't a thing we could do. When we were stopped by that Oni ship, and we were about to make our way past without issue until a man noticed me, recognized me. I was outcasted from Onigashima when I was much younger. I was caught trying to free some slaves, some human slaves from captivity, finding it to be very barbaric practice. And I was beaten to near death and set out to sea to die. I managed to somehow cling on to life long enough to wash up on the shores of Woolgate. And that is where I was discovered by my master, Ilya Voshnik. She nursed me back to health, and as part of my repayment, and having nowhere else to go, I began helping her out with everything, around the tower, with menial chores, and over time, she began to even teach me magic. And I began to view her as something like a mother, or at least a close family. I took on her name, her last name, and as you can no doubt understand, a very halfling name. I discarded my old identity and was happy with her until one day she was simply gone and disappeared. And since then, I saw fit to try and seek her out. That is why I came to the mainland. That is what I was doing when I met you all. And throughout all this time, there's been ways to people who've claimed to know where she might be, or to give hints, or to provide their assistance. And throughout it all, I just, as much as my goal and hope was to find her above all else, I could not compromise my own morals and integrity to do so, and thus declined. And in many ways, choices to decline or end up causing us troubles as a whole. But my point being is, now I am more powerful than I was when I first left. I have learned a lot. I have seen a lot. Stuff and information I did not know was possible, that I couldn't have imagined before, but it is now possibly a way of, if I could just sit down and I can make sense of it all. I had already been considering for some time that perhaps I needed to go my own way and continue my search for my master and my research, and in what ways, and that it was, my time was better suited elsewhere. And I chose not to, because at the end of the day, I enjoyed your company. You, besides my master, you are the only people I've ever felt close with. But now, at the night of everything that's happened with us, and especially as of late, and what happened on that island, I need time. And I need time and space, and I too am gonna go my own way.
Do you guys know where either of you are going to be headed off to?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I've been working on something. My master was Archmage of Conjuration, and while it was never my strong suit, it was still something that was taught to me in great depth, being my master's specialty. And I'm thinking with a little more practice, I can fully comprehend and learn a spell that will enable me to return to Woolgate instantaneously, to teleport there to my master's tower. I think, armed with my new knowledge and experience, I can revisit everything my master left behind and spend time there, and perhaps, if not find a new lead, find a better understanding and greater reasoning for what might have happened. And from there, I don't know. I might come back to Westreach, continue seeing to various restoration efforts, or perhaps doing other work, or for Natasha or others, or simply taking time and focusing on my research and simply making whatever money I need to sustain that. I mean, unlike y'all, it's to do what I do, to learn what I do. It's a very intensive process. It's very studious, and it takes a lot of time. And while I feel I've learned a lot in our studies, I think in our journeys, like I said, I think I just need the time and space. And the bear just kind of looks over to Kyoho, who the question was also directed towards.
Kyoho was waiting for him to finish. I left Onigashima in order to get stronger, to track down my brother, kill him for killing my father. And whilst I have certainly grown stronger journeying with you all, as Amir is stronger self, as he said, I cannot allow myself to lose my life before doing what I need to do. And at this point, that has happened twice, and I have managed to survive it. Both due to your saving and properties of that island. I thank you for everything. I need to focus myself on what I need to do. Even more so as Edward had his own history with my brother. He is no longer here to be someone to take him out myself.
Like I said, will be working on a means of getting back to Volgate instantaneously, and which is much closer or easier to get to Onigashima or wherever you might want to travel from there. I am more than happy to lend my effort there if you so wish, and if not, that is fine. Get you
I
at
think
least
I will
closer.
take you up on that offer. I believe if I'm going to defeat my brother, I need to return to Onigashima and learn more of the other styles that he has stolen from, like my father's, so that I am better equipped to deal with all of his trickery.
He just nods.
You know. You know the reason why I did it. Why I made those wishes. You know the reason, don't you?
Demir's just kind of looking down to the side in a way.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to lose you. I didn't want it to just end. It's whatever I had before was only it was nothing. You know, you were there too. I barely existed before I came to know you all. And I couldn't bear to have to say goodbye forever. So I hope that you can forgive me. Because I don't want this to be goodbye forever either.
Can always make a promise to each other to be back here at Westreach, grab a drink at the Wounded Soldier.
Yes.
Like I said, I need time, and I am
Exactly. Later down the line. Later down the line, yeah.
I
just you have to promise, okay? You have to promise that we'll see each other again, and that you'll stay safe until then. Because if something does happen, then I don't, that whatever your feelings on it are, I don't know if we have that child to grant our wishes anymore. If anything happens again, then it.
That makes a fair point. I think outside of you two, I'm not going to be within 30 feet to be able to cast a quick eye on you.
I understand, and I would hope after all of this that even if it was an option, that casting another wish would not be done. I can't tell you, with how uncertain life is, I can't promise you any certainty, but I will do my best to stay alive and ensure that it is, and ensure that there is a day that comes that we can see each other again.
I'll be looking forward to that day.
A day where we can finish that spell.
Demir just kind of smiles a bit and just says, "Perhaps, yes."
And Kyoho as well. I know what you want to do with your brother. It's not something where I can reasonably ask to, like Demir, and say that you have to stay safe. But when you do need to confront him, just know that we'll be there to help you. Don't throw it away thinking it has to be you alone. We've got so far together.
I understand. Thank you.
I,
See you. I think I'm going to get some more rest. I'll see you all in the morning.
yes,
Demir gets up, gives a little slight bow, and heads off to his room.
The rest of you go
I
as well?
think I will also turn in for the night.
Okay.
Come, like, go outside for a little bit. If he would reasonably have any tobacco, maybe smoke.
Sure.
I know he does that infrequently enough. I'm just going to take some time looking out through Natasha's mansion, just kind of thinking on everything.
I do have a question. Callahan, did you cast Greater Restoration on yourself?
No, not on me. I only have one 5th level spell slot, so I cast it on Demir.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the whole like weird little hand dust thing that was like the touch.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just asking because I didn't remember you only had one 5th level spell slot. I thought you had two.
I'll take 2 if you're doling them out. But yeah.
No. You can do it in the morning. All right.
That's it.
All right. So you look up Callahan. There's only one moon in the sky tonight. The other one is hidden. No stars like usual. No clouds either. It's that dark, endless void. As you look at it, it does somewhat remind you of the time you had to wait there. Although that time you had the mirror with you. Now you're just sitting there. Alone. Then you pick yourself up and you go to bed. The next morning, we'll wake up. Or that is assuming any of you slept anything. You come back down. You have a little bit of breakfast. And Natasha calls you over. Well then, first of all, business, shall we?
By all means. And of course, morning to you, Natasha. Hope you had a nice sleep.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I felt so much safer knowing all of you were here as well. And you wouldn't let anything happen to this old lady. She gives you a wink.
Old. Who are you trying to kid?
No, stop it, you! And she like punches you in the thigh, where she reaches. just lightly taps, breaks your thigh. No, I'm kidding.
One Punch Man style.
she Natasha's just secretly a monk, a level 12 monk. She just breaks your legs. Kyoho like, teach me, master. Oh, speaking of which, I just remember nobody said anything to Saya, so
I did think about that at the start of the session.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it out of character the whole time, but Emrys wouldn't have thought of it.
This is fair. Well,
Emrys has a lot going on.
to be fair, she did say she'd wait a few days, come back, and if you weren't there, she's just gonna bail. So
Yeah.
probably just bail. As
I lost a whole sword.
Yes.
That's so unfortunate.
And she brought you to the place you wanted to go. So, yay. Anyway, you had breakfast and yes, and she said back to business then. Although you didn't bring much in the way of materials, they did bring some things, and we were able to study. And most importantly, you've completed Favis's request and brought back information that will prove to be valuable. And I will be like I said, I will be sending people to the island to see what is left, what has happened there, and bring back whatever they can.
At the very least, without the barrier of fog and the strange time anomaly within, it should be more accessible.
That is assuming if my fear that I had last night doesn't come true, and the forces of Onigashima don't take hold of the island after seeing that the fog has been lifted. But if that happens, then she actually looks towards Kyoho. Perhaps I might message you, Kyoho, for some favors, if you are so inclined. Sev? I think you're muted. Unless you're not saying anything.
I could perhaps assist on that front, yes.
Thank you. In the meantime, I want you all to know, even those that are leaving, she looks towards the Oni, that you are always welcome here, and do stay in contact. I do like hearing about you and where you are, at least. A letter. You all know how to write letters. You can send one to this old lady.
Kyoho will just nod.
I can contact you directly as I have done before. So if I will.
I was talking to the Oni. I know you will be around, and I appreciate that. Yes. The contact. The Oni will be sending me letters, at least saying hi, because I like it. Anyway, each of you will earn. It's not as large a sum, but it is what I feel might be an appropriate reward, considering what was brought back. Each of you will take 2,000 gold pieces. I took the liberty of giving it to you in platinum, so 200 pieces of platinum to each of you.
Thank you.
You see a couple of halflings bring over four. Yeah, there's four. 4 little lock boxes with the not so little, but 4 lock boxes with 200 platinum pieces inside each of them, and puts them all in front of you. And now, Callahan, Amaris, since you are still working with me, I have a recommendation. walks over to Callahan, who you're all sitting down, and she puts her hands to your collar, like adjusting your chainmail. I want both of you to take a vacation. You have enough money to survive for a long time. I want both of you to rest up and get ready for whenever I have another job for you. And mind you, the next job I have will not be goblin related. I think we all need a break from that. And Fabus can handle his own problems for the time being. I have other fields that also interest me. Are we agreement?
Thank you. That's much appreciated.
Good. Callahan?
Natasha, thank you so much for everything. You have a wonderful house.
Oh, I know. I picked it myself. And she gives you a pinch on your cheek.
And you just starts laughing, going, ah!
Very well then. Yoho, Namir, I wish you safe travels. Again, stay in contact. And also, both of you will also be taking a vacation whenever you reach your destinations. Are we clear?
Understood.
Durero say the same in Halfling.
Good. Good. Now go on. Get out of my house. I have many things to do. And she gives you a wink as she turns around and leaves. Well, you do see, though, as she reaches the door, she looks back, looks at the two Oni, gives a smile, and leaves completely.
Oh, guys, this is it.
Well, when were you two planning to? Well,
I think I have some supplies I need to pick up, but I think I can. I think I'm good to cast my spell whenever.
And
I did some more research and I feel confident in it.
I'm leaving. He is ready to cast the spell.
So I
see. Then
suppose we'll be back to town, and from there, our separate ways.
When you guys get to Woolgate, will you guys need like a place to stay? I know a few people from around the neighborhood that I grew up in.
I have my master's old tower, which is hopefully in a decent state still. It's been quite some time, but that should hopefully suffice for the time being.
And I will be trying to get to Onigashima as quickly as possible.
But in case the tower doesn't work out, or if you need a little bit of rest before a ferry leaves the coast, I suppose, feel free to go to this address. I give Callahan's parents
Oh, okay.
Oh,
a postal code and address.
The paper says, like, Ma and Pa.
The Dirge residence.
The Dirge residence, yeah. Aw. Aw. Okay.
If you do see them, of course, I suppose definitely bring up the cleric thing. I definitely think both my parents would be very delighted if they ask how I got into it. Just that me being a lawyer just didn't really work out, and I found faith, and I'd really appreciate that. And my mom, she always cooks more food than there are plates at the table, so yeah, they kind of just
I We'll make sure to relay to her.
But we all just kind of get up on our horses and start.
I will say, Demir, if you're looking to buy the materials, there is a small town next to Natasha's home. It's not in the middle of nowhere. There's a little town that you can buy the materials there, or you can wait until you all reach Westreach and in late afternoon.
He'd probably just go to where he's familiar with and to
Okay.
start off at Westreach.
Okay, so
Technically, he doesn't own the horse anyways. Technically, Edward lended him the money, and
I don't
Demarest
think
paid for
Edward.
it.
I don't think Edward is calling in.
I'm just saying he's not going to he's not. I mean, if he goes to a small town, what's he gonna do? Just then, all right, leave the horses there, and
You can teleport the horse.
that's true. But
I mean, you can teleport like 8 people, right?
oh yeah, he'd probably still just go back to where he's familiar with. And
Okay.
he also has some, other errands he wants to, or he's probably gonna also swing by the magic shop and just some
Okay.
looking or stuff, getting some other components. So
Okay.
he's
So
a man of habit.
okay. So you ride off to Westreach, and it is a solemn. Yes.
On the way, Emrys just says, before you two go, I was wondering if you'd like to join me for something.
We'll have to be a bit more specific.
I in that moment, Edward didn't just say for us to leave. There was something he wanted to do, and I'll be doing that to the best of my abilities.
I understand. I will accompany you for that.
It's not much. It won't take long, and I can only assume. I only got half the message before.
We can go together in this.
Thank you.
I'll come along as well.
All right. Then after that, or after getting back to Westreach, Imris will lead the group to the was it the to the is it the, it's not the Church of Mull.
Court of Mull.
The court
of
yes,
Mull.
that's what I was looking for, to the court
Yes,
of
yes,
Mull. To ask after Catherine.
Okay. As you get there, you actually see there's a small group of heavily armored individuals, all in silver armor with bearing the symbols of Mal on them. Callahan, as the fanboy that you are, you recognize them all as shields. Shields of Mal. And she is talking to them. She's giving them instructions for something. You're seeing her from a distance, not to interrupt, as she has this map and she is distributing the locations of where these people are going to go. And you also see her turn to one of them and just smacks him in the helmet, and then grabs his helmet and just points at the map. And you don't really hear. And actually, Callahan, you do hear because ungodly perception. I have to say that at least once a session. It's like Kyoho and the extra key point to attack. You hear that you're gonna pay attention, or else I'm gonna send you way over here. And you see her point towards Glarion, and sorry, ma'am. Good lad. And after a moment, she disperses the shields, and not even turning her head, she just calls out, "What do you four lugheads want?"
Catherine, um, we, I'm not sure if you know, but we went on a journey with Edward recently.
She turns around and looks at you, crosses her arms. You see her leaning against the table, and she's staring at you. "Well, I knew he was hanging around with you. So?" She looks around.
He, I'm sorry. I, I, I can speak, I can speak with people's, I can hear people's thoughts, and when I connect to them, and
Go on, out with it.
The last thing he said was he just wanted to tell you, but that was all. I didn't hear the rest, but he just said to tell her, and the only her I know that he knows is you. And then Edward's gone.
See her look at you with her different colored eyes, staring at you intently. You know from experience, you can't lie to her. She is definitely staring at you to see how truthful you're being.
I mean, Emrys is being truthful.
Yeah.
Emrys is holding back the fact of how it would died. But
She just asks, "Did he go out fighting?"
he did. He protected all of us.
Hmm.
He volunteered to do something that I suggested, and
Let me guess, he was the only idiot that would do it.
he did it in my place.
Yeah, of course he did. All right. She turns around to look back at the map. "Thank you for telling me. And, you can go now."
Yes. I don't know what he wanted to say, but I think it was for you. And I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you. You can go now.
Emrys kind of stands there awkwardly for a second, then just kind of turns around and looks to the others, just, right,
Bear starts to walk away.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're all walking away, Callahan, you see as you're leaving, you do see there's a sort of mall. One of them is he's approaching Catherine, and as he gets closer, she just raises her arm. Not now. You attempt to say something. She says, I will break your jaw. Not now. You just see the guy immediately go super straight, turn around, and just march away. But then you leave. And yeah, you're out in town. Quarter Mall is actually not very far from the magic shop. So if you not magic shop, but
Yeah.
the components.
Demir will purchase it's a 50 gold pieces worth of chalk and gems and stuff, and he'll buy double that.
Okay, so we're gonna cut that part, so you can you can buy it, no problem. The Amusing Quill. There we go. I was looking for the freaking name. Yeah, the Amusing Quill. Yeah. So you have the components now, Demir. You know how to use them.
This is it. And Demir will start drawing the circle on just the ground there, and like kind of in the street, or kind of like a secluded area.
Kyoho will let him do magic stuff.
The complicated, weird thing. It's not punching or swinging a sword.
And this takes a minute.
Yeah.
Let me share this this description, because that's what I usually do when I cast spells.
Yeah, and you really want to.
Yeah, of course.
There we go. Teleportation circle. Look at this beauty. Too bad you're leaving.
And you don't get to see the other 5th level spell, which I was super excited about.
Past it
Yeah.
here, middle of the street.
Well, like I said, kind of just like off the side. I mean, it's just.
Nah, leave it for later.
And that, once he's kind of done, he just kind of looks over at Callahan and Emerson and says, "So long."
Stay
And
safe.
Alan repeats the same, but in Oni.
Farewell. For now.
All right.
I think as they're disappearing, Callahan probably just makes a very, very large and long bow towards them.
Okay. You see, as Demir, you cast your spell. For you, Demir and Kyoho, it's almost like there's this pitch blackness that appears for just a second. It's almost like blinking, but a longer blink. For the rest, though, you see their bodies suddenly glow and then fade as the chalk on the ground turns from white to black as if it was charred and rendered useless now. Then the wind picks up and parts of it begin to vanish. And the two are separated by an ocean at this point. Callahan, Emrys, you have some vacation time.
Yes, we do. How long of downtime are we being given?
Well, about 2 months before you get the call from Natasha. You have plenty of money. And you also know that if Natasha catches word of you going on jobs in that time, she will kill you.
Who did?
Yes. She is grandma. She will hurt you.
She will find you, and she will make you rest.
Yes, indeed.
There goes my plan of going on a quick quest for random magical loot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Alan, he's always such a busybody. Like, he's always like going around restoring restorations and such. I suppose in the next 2 days he uses his last 2 pouches for greater restoration to cure the curses on himself and Emrys
Okay.
in relation to the whole shenanigans.
When you cast it on yourself, you feel a weight lift off your shoulders. Nothing seems to happen, but you do feel lighter. When you go to cast it on Emrys, nothing seems to happen like usual, like what happened with Callahan. But Emrys, you literally do not feel any different.
Did it work, Callahan?
Supposedly just gets rid of a curse. So,
I'm not sure I am cursed.
that was a waste of about 100 gold pieces then. Cool.
Emrys, when you say that, you hear in the back of your mind, almost as if whenever you're communicating with someone telepathically, you're not cursed. You're something much better. We are something much better.
Dun dun dun.
But that's it. Nothing else happens with your greater restoration. And you have time to rest. Just give me if there's anything other than just resting, eating, going around, studying, whatever you wish. If there's anything like major that you plan on doing, you can tell me now.
I was wanted to hang out with the Baron and see if there's anything that he could do to either help out Westreach and all the kind of like surrounding areas, kind of like improving lives and all that. Like, he's really just like, despite being cleric of Maul, he's really not particularly going for like, oh shit, the Court of Maul does. It's more just kind of like a wandering cleric.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any kind of like off-screen questing that can be done, that'd be neat. But if that's off the table, that's also cool. Can we train up like skills or anything like that? Was that something that we could be doing?
You can, if I remember correctly, there is a downtime for training skills, I believe. Let's see. Down, because I know there is a training activity, right? So receiving training in a language or tool typically takes at least 10 work weeks. But I'm going to be reduced now. Okay, so it basically takes 10 work weeks. You can learn a tool or a language. Any tool or language that you wish to learn. It costs 25 gold per week. So 250 gold.
350 gold, yeah. Alright, I suppose the main one that I'd be most interested would be helping out in Westreach. If there isn't really much to do, I might just fall back into learning Elvish, maybe? Or if there's any way to kind of, I suppose just kind of like, I'm like looking up like knowledge and lore and kind of like finding out about like if there's any interesting world events going on.
Well, you can learn a language, and then you can learn Elvish if you wish. You just spend the 250 gold, and during those 10 work weeks, that's what you do. Though, if you wanna dive deep into lore and events and whatnot, that's going to consume your time. So
Oh, it's one or the other, is it?
yeah, because I'm gonna say it doesn't. It's the 2 months. It's not the 10 work weeks. It's the 2 months, but it's the because the teacher can
For working
lower it.
weekends.
Yeah, you can hear about what's happening around, but most of your focus will be on learning the language, which in itself is useful, of course.
Yeah, like the other thing was like kind of looking up like magical tools or items that'd be kind of like helpful for adventuring or clericy stuff.
Okay.
And kind of like taking into account that because Demir's gone, Callan's trying to take more of an interest in like history-based stuff and arcana type stuff.
Okay. You can't practice a skill, like gain proficiency with a skill, but you just tools and languages. But you can read up on that. So, but do you still wish to learn the language?
If I can do both, I'd love to do both.
Like I said, you can learn the language and then just passively learn and check up on things.
Yeah, cool. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll sink in the 25.
Roll an investigation, please.
Investigation.
Okay.
But I
Hero point.
I use my hero point, please.
Oh, speaking of hero points, I will be instituting one thing. You all start with the one hero point per session as per usual, but from now on, you can't buy your own hero points. You can wait for people in chat, if there's any, that wants to save you, to buy them for you. Otherwise,
Good
share our luck.
luck. Perfect. I'll just use my own one then, if that's alright.
Now go ahead. 16.
Lovely.
Okay. So, in terms of magical items, you don't really hear much, but you learn that there are the scroll shop. It's actually it does contain several spells that would help. You remember that Demir had the identify spell, and you do know that I believe it would be Emrys that can also learn the identify. I think sorcerers learn
If you
identify.
asking to have character, shall I check?
Yeah. No, Emrys can't.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's unfortunate. So it would be useful if someone can could learn identify. But I mean, in terms of magical items and whatnot, you don't really find anything that is useful aside from potions. There's always the potions. The Nikolai's potions and ointments is the place to be in case you need anything for potions, and he does give you an extensive list.
I'm so sorry. I think I must have misspoke. I meant more like, do I hear that there was like a tomb or like a dungeon that could have like magical stuff in it? That kind of idea. Like just kind of stuff for, like random like
ear to the
side
ground.
quests
Okay, for side quests.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant about kind of like looking into
Okay.
history and stuff.
You
yeah.
know-
not around the town.
You do hear about a couple of ruins that were discovered in the west. Some pathfinders were thinking of going there. There's rumors that the pathfinders are thinking of going there, but that this would be in the west. Like most of this stuff would be in the west. It's pretty much most of what you hear in terms of that. And ruins usually have good stuff.
Awesome. That's definitely the next step if Natasha doesn't have a job for us.
Right? And you also learn Elvish.
And I learned Elvish. Yay!
You can speak Elvish. However, the level it's you can understand it and you can speak it well enough that people will understand you.
Nice one. Nice one. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
It's always been on his mind since we went to the forest of west of Westreach. Anyway.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. So good language to learn. Emerus, how's your vacation?
Emrys is probably gonna go see Fabis if he's available.
Fabis is in his laboratory.
His laboratory
In the west, yes.
in the west?
In the ruins. You can use the communicator with actually you can use Callahan's communicator to speak with Fabus, and he will. It's not the first couple of weeks, but he will send an automaton to talk with you if that is what you need.
Yeah. Emrys would just kind of, talk with Fabis about kind of, what happened, and maybe also Emrys might do a bit of language learning as well.
Ooh, what language?
So obviously Fabis knows Goblin. Does Fabis know Celestial?
Since Fabus does know Celestial, yes.
Actually, does Emrys know Celestial already? No, just checking.
Actually, Fabus would be the only person that, now that I think about it, that can actually teach you Goblin. Celestial you can learn from several holy types.
I think Emrys will ask to learn Goblin.
Goblin?
Because after kind of, especially after running into the, that they've run into goblins a couple of times now, and Emrys kind of wants to be ready, if anything like that happens again.
Okay.
So Emrys will ask to learn Goblin.
So you actually, according to the rules, which I actually like, the number of weeks is reduced. It's 10 weeks. The number of weeks is reduced equal to the intelligence modifier of your teacher. Okay. So in terms of
intelligence modifier 20.
So in terms of Callahan's teacher, he had an intelligence modifier of 2. So that's why it turned into 8 weeks. In terms of Fabus, you only need 5 weeks to learn the.
Nice.
Because Fabus does have an intelligence of +5.
Oh yeah, Fabus.
Yeah, so you find that he is an amazing teacher. Plus, he actually teleports you with the teleportation circle to his laboratory for the first 5 weeks, so the first month.
Nice.
And he actually has like several automatons at the same time doing other stuff while teaching you. That's how good he is.
While we're there, Emrys will just offer to help Fabis with various things while he's there as well.
He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't you'll just break that. How about you just learn the language? It's perfectly fine. No, that don't sit there. Sit in the other one. That is actually a button that will. Let's not talk about that one.
Emrys helps.
Emrys, beep boop beep. Emrys helps. All right. So it of course it costs less in terms of like learning materials and whatnot.
How much is that then?
I'm gonna say it only costs you about 100 gold. Because of eating and whatnot. Because he does provide most of the materials. And at the end, he just pops you back into Westreach. Well, close. No, actually, because he now knows where Westreach is, he can actually teleport you there perfectly.
Cool.
And yeah.
Other than that, since I've got some other spare time,
Okay, so I'm gonna say the first 2 weeks was the automaton getting to you, and then teleporting you back to his laboratory. Then 5 weeks, so that's 7 weeks. So you have 1 week left.
yeah, Emrys will just Emrys. I guess Emrys would have been doing this at Fabis as well, just like research into like angels and especially kind of the child and that kind of thing. That would have been done while with Fabis.
Your time would have been focused on
it would have been,
learning the language.
Yeah, it would have mostly been learning the language. But
I will tell you right now, considering the type of person that Fabis is, if you had any information on the child, he himself would have known it.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going through like what Emrys would kind of have done. Like Emrys probably would have tried, but obviously like found that there's not a whole lot that is there. So
Yeah.
and Fabis would have
How
been
about this?
best place to learn. So there's no.
You have
sorry,
1 week. If you want to pay 50 gold, you can do a research activity for the last week.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm getting to. That because Emrys has already tried with Fabis, and Fabis is like the most likely place to have that information. Emrys probably wouldn't research outside of that. So for that 1 week, Emrys is just going to kind of basically try some spells because Emrys
You have information about
Emrys is
knowledge that is being brought to you about certain spells, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emrys is practicing.
All right. So we go back in time a little bit. Just a little bit. Just 2 months, actually. As Demir, Kyoho, both of you appear what seems like a basement of sorts. After your teleportation. Demir, it worked. You recognize this. This is your master's teleportation circle.
It worked. This is my master's basement. It's her teleportation circle.
It looks like shit. It's like dusty all over. There's like rat bites that have just gnawed through several things. Termites have gotten to it. It's not been very well kept. Kyoho, this is very disappointing. Mage thingy. You would have expected something better from a mage.
I can tell that she hasn't. Well, she is missing, but she's. Well, I guess no one else has been here either. That's a good thing.
Nobody fucking dares approach a mage's tower or an archmage's tower. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you never know.
Yeah?
I will not hold the state of this place against you.
Tamir's just kind of like picking up things every now and like seeing how heavy the dust is. Well, I suppose we can. I'm not sure what enchantments still might be here, but we can get you safely out, and I can go and see Callahan's parents.
All right.
All right. So you wait. You're going to Callahan's parents?
Well, that's what he's gonna make sure Kyo gets out of the tower safely.
Oh, yes.
And then they would, presumably part ways as Kyoho goes to try and.
Okay. Okay, so you part ways. You actually tell Kyoho how to get to, how to get to Breed's Rest, which is the capital of Walgate, which is where Callahan's parents are, and also where the main port where she'll find transportation.
So if
Is.
that's so, how far away would that be then?
From your tower, it'd be about I'd say about a day's walk.
Okay, in that case,
Bring our
Demir would
horses?
probably. Or are you saying stuff?
Did we bring the horses?
Yes, I assume so.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that's the case, if that's like a whole days, then Demir would probably say bye to Kyoho as is and can stick around the tower and start doing some tidying up and
Okay.
eventually more research now that he is a far, far more experienced wizard than he was when he left.
I will say this. After Kyoho leaves the next day, you find yourself truly alone in the tower, but it doesn't feel like before when you were alone after your master left. It feels a bit more empty. You don't hear the quips from Callahan or the or Emerus overly dramatic spellcasting, or Kyoho just silently cooking her rice balls, or Edwards frankly just flexing a lot and talking about his exploits. It feels different, but you're also a wizard. You have a lot of books, and the main thing you found after a few days of sitting there after cleaning up is you pick up your master's books, notebooks, research papers, and you find that, yeah, with all the experience you've been getting and how much you've grown, a lot of it makes so much more sense. A lot of it is much easier to comprehend. If nothing else, this has allowed you a new insight. And in the weeks that follow, word seems to have spread that there is activity in the Archmage's tower. At first, people think that the Archmage returned, but then at some point you have to get food. And they start to realize it's just the apprentice, but the apprentice has a different air about him. The way he walks, the way he carries himself, the always meek and avoiding eye contact and not really very sociable.
Just gonna throw in as well the fact that he is considerably older.
And considerably older. It's very true. You have a new, wiser and mature look to you. And to your surprise, Demir, after a few weeks, you start getting people with requests of the mage. Simple stuff. Things that you can use the spells of the first and second circle with ease. But people start coming to you as the mage of this area. Do you welcome them or do you shun them?
Demir would be welcoming.
All right. Kyoho, it wasn't easy. It wasn't actually easy at all. You did have to spend about 300 gold to get a ride to Onigashima. Have to pay off a few people, a lot of them Oni, to even get close to Onigashima. But you were able to get there.
You mean she didn't just run across the water?
No, actually, they got you close enough where you can just spend a whole day just running across the water and reach it. That's as far as they would take you. But you can, because, you know, you too picked up a few things in your time outside.
Yeah.
You reach Onigashima, and it's been months, several months, since you left Onigashima. And it just feels weird having so many Oni around you. No humans, no weird humans, or weird Oni who acts nothing like an Oni. Not even a weird dwarf that just is just an old man. It does feel weird. But you're able to get back home. Nobody accosts you, and you do notice one thing, Kyoho, as you're walking through the streets. Two things. First of all, bigger Oni who would have bumped into you, who would have give you the side eye. A lot of them avoid looking at you, and a lot of them just look down the moment you glare at them. You do command a different air about you, because before you knew how to fight because you learned from an amazing master. But now you have experience that a lot of these Oni, aside from the ones that have seen actual battlefields, don't really have. You actually don't feel threatened by anyone, at least on your way home. When you get home, though, that feeling of when you see where your father used to train you, that empty dojo. Your family is there, though. The ones that survived. You are welcomed back. And about a month after, you take a little bit of a break, but about a month after, you start getting people trying to challenge you, trying to test their mettle against you. Rumor spreads that you were outside, that you changed, and they try to fight you, they try to test you, they try to duel you. One question, Kyoho. Do you kill any that challenge you? Or do you let them live?
Go home, will let them live.
Your reputation takes a little bit of a toll. Some of them do not like it, some of them feel insulted. You do have a few of them that thank you. It is well within your right to kill them. Hell, you've done that.
Yes.
But you do have some that thank you. And you start hearing from those people about locations of other people who have martial skill that they believe to be as good as yours or better, worthy opponents that you can fight, improve your skill. That is exactly what you do. You start roaming Onigashima, finding opponents that before you would have avoided or not even learned about. But now, you trust you can hold your own. And it is with that we're going to end the session. We close off on each of you having your own paths.
Guys, I'm so sad.
Yeah. God damn.
Oh, that was really nice though. Well, I was totally expecting it to be just we teleport away and then that was it.
Nah, man, you gotta have an epilogue. At least a little bit, right? I'm not gonna say in the next few years the mere learn now, but at least for a while, gotta have an epilogue. Well, this was an emotional
Yeah.
session. For those that do not know, if you're still watching and wish to know, we will be next week. We will be starting. Shall we call it season 2?
I think it is season 2.
It definitely is a season. Is it now Telia Misfits Z? Or is it
Oh,
just next
God damn
season?
it! Fuck you! Fuck you, RV.
Well,
It's Telia Misfits Shippuden.
Fuck
Requiem.
you! Oh my god! No, it's just a time. It's just a One Piece time skip. It doesn't change its name. No, we're gonna call it season 2. Next week we're gonna start season 2 with continuing the exploits of Callahan and Emerus and whatever
Just
else.
us.
Yes, just
Just
you two.
us.
Yes, that'll end well. Can barely make it to 2 months.
The rest of us are making angel characters that will get along swimmingly with Emerus.
Oh,
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well,
I can't wait for not Officer Jerry Angel. He's
Officer Larry.
Wait until you see the
Squat-
other
squat.
officers.
Fireman Larry Angel.
I was
oh
gonna
my
say
god.
I was gonna say Sheriff Jerry Angel.
You got a promotion, did he?
Jesus.
It's a whole family. There's an officer, there's a fireman, a paramedic,
A deputy.
sheriff.
God damn. You say that as a joke. But
Rand's just writing things down in the
no,
corner, just like,
not
scribble.
Ren.
I'm demanding canon.
You say this as a
This is how
joke,
it
but
is.
damn, these are really good ideas.
No. You say that as a joke, but I know in the back of his mind, Dusk is considering changing the character he to one of those.
Considering? Man, it's already been considered. I've already done the paperwork.
All right, let me just find someone real quick to raid. And guys, that was. I will say, I don't know what anyone else would think. I hope people watching enjoyed it because this was a solemn and heavy episode. Also, Spyro, I hope you liked it as well because you were watching the whole time, dude. Hi, I think you were watching. We're here at least. Hi.
My guy's out there having a smoke.
It.
Yeah.
No, I was here the whole time. Just
He was here the whole time. Okay, cool. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. I think
Thanks so much to you, Ren.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's
amazing D&D sessions.
Amazing season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we did 57 episodes, guys.
We did thinking back on it, it's like, man, we've done like so much. It's insane.
You
Like,
did.
remember when we were like chasing after I've forgotten his bloody name now. The right
Saito?
Sketch.
Or no, Sketch.
man. Remember back then chasing after Sketch.
Okay.
Now look.
Real quick. Do you remember when Demir was just bitch slapped by a sheriff and intimidated into
Yes.
giving him the scrolls?
Oh yeah.
Do you think Demir of now would have taken that shit?
Oh no.
Yes, he would have.
Well, now with his fifth level spell, he could have slapped back.
Oh hell. Oh, big slap. I see. I see. Well, let's rate Vika. She plays D&D with Thunders, and she's awesome, and she's having a subathon soon, and she's playing Valorant, I think. But yeah, by whatever.